decision in mid lane. It's going to be very interesting top side of the map, whatever the lanes go. These are 2 lanes that Sejuani can have a lot of setup for the permafrost. So it is basically KT making the same read we do. It's DAMWON Gaming. They'll play top side. And the Sejuani allows there to be high inroads, high chance of a successful gank wherever score goes. But if Vladimir ever gets going, it's Nuguri. Showmaker can also do a lot of outplaying on this Irelia. So we'll have to watch the jungle battle here because the pathing could be so.
Alright, very prestigious looking Showmaker there in the mid lane.
Is that the...
Is that...
I would guess so.
Yeah, prestiged.
It's pretty.
Yeah, it is. Prestiged project is what I was trying to say. The alliteration caught me just a little bit on the Irelia skin there.
The only time I ever prestiged was on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
How many times did you prestige?
I think just a single. I got to like level 170 or something. I think it was a single prestige.
I made it to 1 as well, actually, in that particular Call of Duty. That was just a really good one.
Yeah, I kind of fell off after that one. I know a lot of people,
too.
Maybe our younger viewers, have played the more recent ones, but
Call of Duty 2 was the best, though.
I'm going to be honest. I got bored of first-person shooting at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
I know I played Bioshock Infinite. I loved the world building. And the moment that it started killing, I was like, no, that's not the game I wanted. I don't want to explore the world.
That wasn't a you thing, though. That was just that game having a really, really good story.
How
but the
good
gameplay
would that
just
game
wasn't
have
even
been
that
if you didn't have to kill anybody?
Oh, it's so much better.
Or shoot people, I guess, is the big thing.
My favorite first-person game, you don't do anything other than walk, actually.
You played a walking simulator?
Basically. It was called Dear Esther. It was purely about the story. Incredible game. One of the first games made basically just as a walk-through art simulator.
Well, you want to see some walk-through art? Watch Nuguri Lane. He has a great laning phase. But take a look at these keystones. It is, in fact, Klepto Camille versus Klepto Vlad.
But we've one-upped the amount of Kleptos by having Prey with Klepto on the bottom side. So in a natural scenario where everyone's going even, KT are actually ahead.
Still, this is
that's a lot of
Camille
Klepto.
is optimistic, but I guess the idea is you get zoned and then you hookshot in, quickly get some Klepto and then get the hell out, so you can kind of understand it.
It's also working here for Nuguri, who hits level 2 finally. Let's have himself the Crimson Rush, so of course we'll be playing around with that health bar a lot.
If we could communicate with our observers, I would love about kind of 12 minutes, 14 minutes of check-in on gold earned between the two. I'm guessing Vladimir will just have many more lane states in which you can queue auto.
Yep. Right now, he is, of course, has a lot of healing in his secondary. He's going to be able to keep him topped up as this game goes on, but won't have that backline access that you have with something like the Phase Rush or other options that you can get, nor the extra damage from something like an Electrocute or Airy or something like that. Just so many different options when it comes to the Vladimir. Spellbook, of course, is a very strong one on the Vlad, being able to get towards a Ghost in the late game.
Do note that Nuguri has no way to open up a Killer Instinct in the side lane, so Nuclear can't swoop into this matchup because no CC. They have to hit the W himself. Meanwhile, Showmaker, of course, does. Slow push into bot lane turret. Canyon was there, mid lane roams, so smartly, Prey and Snowflower will say, well, this is an our minion wave to claim.
Nope, but it's a plate gank, and Nuclear and Beryl are going to easily be able to claim their first at 3.5 minutes. That is certainly a good clip for that one, and we'll be able to answer the extra gold earned by that Kleptomancy that we were talking about earlier on.
And if you're well drilled, you can kind of make that play every, 2.5 minutes or so. You can make the play where you roam down your bot lane, you get your lane states, and then you do that 3 times, and you probably get the turret, right? So definitely a plan for DAMWON Gaming to get a lot of gold bot side from just smart roam timings and jungle pathing from Canyon and Showmaker.
Talking about smart things, Nuguri activating the Camille passive with an auto attack, making sure she has the physical shield, and then being able to put the follow-up damage down. Really, really nice trading here from Nuguri. Yeah, if you want to learn how to be an incredible laning top laner for solo queue, just watch Nuguri. He is so incredibly good. 15
gold so far from Kingen compared to 270. Nice keystone, bruh.
Yeah, exactly.
Might as well have Predator if you're never going to use it.
Exactly right. Probably wishes he'd taken Conqueror now. He's going to go back home.
Smokes, I've never seen that much of a punking in the keystone.
now has 2 Doran's Blades. You can tell he's frustrated about the amount of work he's been able to not get done.
We actually had in the LEC, you might have missed this, I forget which game it was in. One of the games I cast, we had a pause where the player had played 18 minutes on a Klepto champion, had 99 procs, but had never actually gotten a sack of gold or an item.
What the heck? That is ridiculous. As there's the headbutt pulverized. Score has to flash with responding though immediately. Even Aftershock getting value here as first blood goes over to Canyon. And he is well and truly on the board once again and might be our first player to move above the 700 points in the MVP ranking.
What the heck applied both to the immediate scenario and Dan's misfortunes for Misfits Premier in the LEC. Reported not a bug, by the way, which was interesting. As topside, NGàY finally going to be passing over some gold.
Yeah, a little bit, but is going to be able to get some back there, as you can see, only extending the amount of Klepto value he's picked up. He's also got himself some Boots of Lucidity, as well as his Kindle Gem, so he's almost got all the CDR that he'd ever need.
So DAMWON Gaming, you're going to expect bot lane priority, and the call from KT would have been, I guess they backed, because they weren't showing in lane, but smartly, Beryl had roamed. Speaking of roams.
Yep, BDD going to get headbutted around. Showmaker flashing forward, needs another auto. Oh, that's a little bit awkward, but Aatrox followed him and decided that he deserved the kill.
I mean, you know, it felt a bit charitable at the end there. I don't know about the donation. Yeah. Maybe the Ignite was really, really late, reapplied by Showmaker.
Maybe.
But I don't think so.
No, I think that was just a whoopsie. As Beryl, he's going to Hex Flash his way back into the lane.
I want to see the replay. It's possible he was already dead, but in terms of the Ignite, if it was super late, maybe I missed something there, but it's certainly out of context.
I think the Ignite did wear off from what I saw, but very strange scenario. Looked like BDD was potentially trying to bait, wanted to get that turnaround again, but there's the headbutt pole. As Prey has to use the flash. Song of Celerity comes in there as Snowflower. Able to turn that one around. The flash forward from Nuclear though, and they're able to get the 2v2 kill. Snowflower desperately trying to find something. Gets the Devour, regurgitates Nuclear there, but the flash is answered by Beryl's incredible timing on the Pulverize.
Call it timings, call it cooldowns, whatever it works. 2-for-0 trade on the bot side. Tom Kench thought he had his meal all set up. He'd been stirring that barrel of goodness for a while. I'm going to go and watch the mid lane play first. As wherever Beryl goes, good times are following.
Yep, look for when the Ignite is applied here onto BDD.
How does this work? Because it looked really comically bad.
There's the Ignite, and so that's been ticking for a long time.
There'll be one more?
No.
Then why do we... I don't know. And then bot side, Beryl decides to come here as well. Really good play. Watch Nuclear's play here. He turns around his model, and then as the Alistar passes him, ships in the night, they go for the kill. And I thought for sure that Combat Tom Kench was going to be able to pick up the kill. Gets the spit. First the headbutt is perfect, and then they bait out a flash. Showmaker is hyped.
Yeah, he's super surprised that one actually happened.
I believe he said, nice, wow.
Yeah, he did. He did definitely say that. Thankfully, that works in English as well. As Canyon and Nuclear have started off the Dragon here. 4-0 is the kill score, and this game is running away from KT Rolster very, very quickly in this early game.
Beryl's jacking up that Alistar win rate, baby. It's going to be above 70%.
And I reckon Canyon's probably pretty annoyed. He wants to get to that sole first position in the MVP rankings, and Beryl is saying, no, mate. This is time for me.
Something cool to discuss around that point is that, I'll watch Canyon here on the corner of my eye as I get the stat ready. DAMWON Gaming, they have played, this is their 39th game, and that's about kind of where most teams are at, around kind of 35 to 40 numbers.
Yeah.
Interesting fact is that first place in MVP is only at 7 MVPs out of 39.
Yeah,
so
we've been spreading them around a lot.
There's been a lot of team performances here, so we don't have the 1,400 that you see in some seasons.
Yep. Of course, Jovi getting a hell of a lot of points in the season he won. Yeah.
The most we've ever had was bot lane.
There's a crescendo onto 2. Beryl just weathers that storm, doesn't even get an ultimate out. And DAMWON are going to continue pushing on the bottom side.
For you stat aficionados, we've only ever had a 2-way tie. That was BDD and Kuro, I believe. Maybe Crown and
no, it was BDD and Kuro, yeah, I think so.
I think there might have been 2 times that happened. This bot lane.
There's a headbutt pole. Killer Instinct comes down as well as Prey's going to get devoured. Wanders over. The Vanguard's Edge comes in. That is going to mean the death of the Sona. Beryl is going to sacrifice himself as BDD is down here, once again lit on fire. This time going to stay underneath the turret. Not going to be able to do anything, though, as the hijacked Glacial Prison is going to secure it. And we've got teleports all around this map. NGàY always more than happy to play 1v2, and now has himself the 2v2 follow-up. But the teleport was from a champion that is pretty damn squishy. Also didn't have much of a health bar, and NGàY's going to say, "What the heck were you doing in my lane?" And the follow-up kill is not so good. So DAMWON Gaming make a great play and then a terrible one.
Nuclear's been learning from BDD. He was feeling like he wanted to come front row and just handball one over there. They were very optimistic they'd have enough damage to get the kill, given that Vladimir is in the farming phase, not in the blowing people up phase. Weird and wonderful can a DAMWON Gaming Series be, and 10 minutes in we got 10 kills.
Yeah, this is certainly a more exhilarating one as we check out the replay here of this bottom lane play. It was an attempt, and you can see Beryl holds on to the Pulverize, wanting to get it on both Prey and Snowflare at the same time before the Devour came in. Really cute play and thinking from Beryl.
It was also a headbutt mini stun into the wall to open up the killer instinct. This hard crowd control, so just really well played around the Alice. Let's watch the replay, because NGàY was actually under no threat of dying even after the ultimatum was thrown down, and then actually got baited. That's the only thing you can say here, because just the Sejuani ult into instant pop on our good friend Nuclear. NGàY chased down as well. This was a hell of a whoopsie.
That was, that's, there's no other way to describe it, Papa. I'm glad that you utilized the beautiful term of whoopsie to describe that play. Shelly going to bite the dust here as DAMWON, of course, still have all of the control, but it's not as much as they had before. 3-0-1 on Showmaker. He is the big boy at this point in time, very close to Trinity Force here.
We saw a very small Aurelia earlier today. Now we're seeing these items really early. I think it was, what was it, 19-minute Trinity Force was in the last game. This one, it's going to be a good old 14 or earlier Trinity Force from this Aurelia. She is a big deal.
She is. Showmaker might almost already have that money available. Expecting it to at least be there at around 14 minutes, as we've got Shelly spawning on the top side, and Canyon's deciding that he wants to take some of this plate gold himself. He's got himself an ultimatum now on the top side also, as Shelly comes in, delivers a lot of gold, and NGàY just sidestepped a crescendo underneath the turret. And things going from better to better for DAMWON since they're whoopsie on the top side.
This lane assignment is perfect for DAMWON because there's no kill threat under turret by Tahm Kench Sona. It's not going to happen, especially with crescendo down. So he's going to get a lot more CS and get a lot more experience. Meanwhile, enemy team gets zoned. And look at how good NGàY is at delaying the turret from being taken. No one builds AD in this lane, even with the quest calculation. One thing you can't do so well is not go and push down turrets, so it takes a lot longer. The tempo lead to DAMWON Gaming.
Yep, you can see that KT were really trying to get some of that tempo back, but just like you say, didn't have the tools required in order to make that one work, and they probably should have known that, right? Like, I mean, maybe it's time to rethink and maneuver, as Prey does have teleport available. Snowflower with the Abyssal Voyage, they could have made that decision.
Because if you think about it on a very removed term, you don't look at the results of this season, it's Young Guns, DAMWON Gaming, second split in the LCK, not a lot of experience around them. Nuclear, of course, been around the world, but other than that, a lot of new players, as the 140 gold confirmation is there. KT have so many old heads and way more Klepto gold, as you might imagine. But KT have Score. It's one of the smartest pathing junglers of all time. You think of Prime Dandy, Prime Cacao, Score for so many years. And then you jump over, you know, they have BDD, they have Prey, they have a lot of smart players. Prey was known as the shot-calling 80 carry, and yet how did they lose game one? Well, they got run around the map and looked a bit mortal, trying to make map movements, and in game two, they didn't recognize the speed of the play-in. Maybe that's because there's new variables like bot lane non-80 carries and things being thrown in, but it seems like DAMWON Gaming are playing the smart, controlled game, and KT Rolster are definitely second to the pace of the game.
Yeah, and also DAMWON are playing smart, controlled, but also, you know, maybe overly aggressive at some times. But this is playing into their favor, right? They're doing stuff, and I think if we're in a meta that rewards a proactive player, it's a healthy meta.
Sure.
And that's what DAMWON are capitalizing on here, looking for their second Cloud Drake as Beryl's looking for another kill and another opportunity to steal away the MVP.
Also,
from Canyon.
Maybe you should check in your LCK card if you believe that to be true about proactive.
Well,
let's watch this play. Seeing the reaction from KT.
Yep, big teleport coming in. The Dragon does go over to DAMWON, but maybe there's a fight as the Hex Flash was actually channeled, and the Glacial Prison is going to leave its doors way open.
DAMWON Gaming are outie, and now they have inside track onto mid lane as well. For how long, we'll see.
Missile Voyage going to get KT underneath his turret to try and defend it. It was a great rotation from DAMWON, answered by the ultimate of Tahm Kench though. DAMWON are still going to be able to move back, and they've already got what they wanted. Camille on the bottom side though, used that teleport in order to get in for the flank, but instead turns it into bottom lane outer turret.
No plates, but nice to get the turret down and get some gold going. Wants to come back for the little gold. Cool.
Bit of extra money there as well, as you can see. So we're checking in on the amount of money for those plates. 480 extra on the side of DAMWON is understandable based on how that early game went.
I'm not sure if Vladimir got more than one plate this game. I'm going to think maybe one.
Yeah, I think it was one.
Didn't get any of the 3 bot lane, so definitely not a lot of plate gold, but the Klepto equals it all out. And when you're just talking about gold, the 4-kill advantage currently opens up a 2,600 gold lead.
Yep, and also
Gaming.
We need to talk about why the Boots of Lucidity actually came in here from Noguri. He hasn't been able to pick up Transcendence in this particular rune build. He went Ferocity second to make sure that he has as much ability to regen as possible, so doesn't have that extra 10%, which is why he needs this extra on top of the runes that he's going to get with the scaling cooldown reduction.
Because you remember, the world now knows about Fiendish Codex, Kindle Gem, Transcendence, and basically with the scaling cooldown reduction you can get in the top of the stats tree, 45% CDR build. It's very well known. It's what all Vladimir players around the world do. Noguri invented that in the Kesper Cup when the new runes came through and we saw the new patch and new lineups. He is the one people have looked to for Vladimir guides. He's the one that has varied up his keystone and always been ahead, so we always defer to him on these decisions. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yep. I also like the fact that Boots of Lucidity reduced cooldown of items, and he's got a Zhonya's Hourglass as well as a Proto Belt on the way, so going to be able to make great use of that one as well. Interesting that he didn't go for Ingenious Hunter. He wanted to make sure that he had Ravenous in order to get as much healing as possible.
Ravenous is just so good. It is.
Here's a gank. BDD, going to flash very early, gets out of the way of the headbutt. Nicely done, but still has to trade down when it comes to the summoner spells. Noguri underneath his turret. He's going to have to time things nicely here as Canyon doesn't want to do battle with anyone as Noguri has a lot of health there, but the Glacial Prison finally is good. Hextech Ultimatum comes down. Noguri, you ain't going anywhere, but he's already got a Zhonya's, remember, and just walks away.
Yeah, able to walk, still had about 9 seconds on his W. Didn't matter, his mid lane were brawling.
We are fighting all the time here as Prey going down very, very low. The Devour was necessary to stop those bolts as the Void Seeker does not find Prey, but Prey is playing real scared at this point in time, and understandably so.
We had to really catch up to make sure we got all the multi-lane action going on in this game. Just to catch up with Nuka's build. It's not going for the Manamune build this time. Or the ability power, as far as we can tell, going down the Storm Razor route.
Yep. He's got that Executioner's Calling there as well, so it might have been an AD values type situation. As far as what was the highest value there.
Good flash timing. Alistair's one of those champions you can kind of know when to flash against. Canyon almost just straight up got monstered as the screen changed, because we had to watch the top side. Noguri ends up flashing into the Glacial Prison that follows him, but they just didn't have confidence they had any way to actually kill the Hemomancer.
Well, I mean, he was golden, and Skull had to tank aggro in order to stay up there as well. So we're going to see this one also. Two-man, Pulverized Barrel, pretty good at navigating those. And Noguri back under the turret, just more than happy.
Sejuani camp extending as the quadrants of the map have been swapped between the two teams. DAMWON Gaming don't really give too many mundos about giving up the red side jungle here because Baron hasn't spawned, so it's not as relevant to control that in 18.5 minutes.
And as this goes on, I mean, Noguri is just taking money from KT by forcing 2 people to be topside and answering him. The rest of DAMWON with 4 members are able to guarantee that they have man advantage and have map control. So the longer this goes on, the worse it is for KT Rolster. We'll need to find a different way of navigating this, as the top side of DAMWON's jungle does belong to KT, but the same can be said for DAMWON on the bottom side.
And if you kind of add the numbers together, which is a bit facetious with Sona and Tahm, but it's, you know, Relic, Shield minions, plus the minions farmed for Sona, and Tahm Kench has been able to farm up 98. You still get less than what's going on for DAMWON. So at this point, you're right, they're losing minions, and that will continue to happen if the cap extends. Showmaker's running up, so might see a battle here, and Canyon actually has deceptively strong engage now with the ability to abscond into the Sona ult.
Yep, has that crescendo available and is threatening that right now, as you can see. But Snowflower on the Tahm Kench can be certainly a nullifying factor onto that. But if you layer the crescendo and the headbutt pole, there just may not be an opportunity for Snowflower to devour, because Prey's health bar is certainly not a very generous one. Chain Lash coming in here, flawless duet, not going to find the mark for Showmaker there, but Barrel's looking for the flank.
He's breaking ARAM rules, going to be spotted.
Yep, vision available here for KT, as that headbutt was real nice as the Hextech ultimatum comes down. Unbreakable Will is there, Showmaker wants to get over that wall, but the cow is going to get thwarted in his attempt, and Canyon just throws out the crescendo because I believe it was running out.
And I believe also that Kingen immuned the headbutt over the wall that was attempted by the Alistar.
Right.
And that is why everything went just fine with the ultimatum, so gonna be a bit of a sacrifice here for the cow. He goes down. Down to
First
Drake
good
taken.
Drake, and the only good Drake so far, going to be taken here by KT. Third Cloud Drake going to be coming in at 25 minutes.
Mountain can be very important, because remember, Sona comps can do an extended Baron with sustain, but understandably do less damage to Baron. Let's watch for the immunity timings. We criticized one earlier today. Yeah, did immune through the headbutt over the wall, so Barrel's death was guaranteed.
Yeah, the flawless duet onto 3 meant absolutely nothing. Showmaker wasn't going to throw his life away heading into that battle, and decides not even to throw a cheeky ultimate over the wall or anything like that. The damage was done, and the cow getting a little bit ahead of himself.
Those immunity things are so cool. My favorite interaction with ultimatum is the Xayah timing, where you have to actually Xayah ult during the animation to pop it any later, and of course she doesn't do anything. Timings are always integral. Timing on point that time.
Some weird ultimate interactions like that.
People hate the Infernal Chain Xayah interaction because you do still get tethered and tugged back. We saw that with Perks, I believe, over in the LEC on the weekend.
A few abilities like that. I think that tethers
Fiddle
still
gets
work
the,
if you're untargetable.
Fiddle W goes through the...
Yep, still gets the drain.
Drain.
Soul Shackle's not going to get broken, still gets stunned in Featherstorm if you get hit by the ultimate from a Morgana. That feels real bad.
There was a 2010 meta where the hard counter to Vladimir when he was super overpowered was Fiddle in lane.
Yep.
Just because you drained him through his his Sanguine Pool.
Feels real bad.
I'm always happy with the feels bad for a Vladimir, given how oppressive he can be as the game goes on, and this Snoggery.
And also, if you're talking about way back then, that was when Vladimir was ultra busted.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to release champions, Vladimir is up there with one of the absolutely most overpowered to ever be released into the live client of League of Legends.
I think the most overpowered ever was released LeBlanc that was hotfixed 2 hours into it.
And Diana as well.
Oh, that was
the day afterwards, as this needs to be hotfixed on the side of KT as Score throws the prison away. Can we actually get a kill here as the redemption comes down? KT going to get some healing back from it as Prey uses his Seraph's Embrace and does absolutely nothing with it because the aggro had left. DAMWON unable to get any follow-up kills there, as meanwhile still able to get the outer turret in the mid lane, as they just seem to have more players on the map.
Trinity Force punctures through that turret. KT Rolster run around the map again.
Not to mention Rage Blade done for Nuclear as well.
He's a big deal.
He is.
Nogari's not yet, but we know he's definitely cooking something up for the late game.
Always poised to be a big deal is this Vladimir player.
But to come up there, I would say, in my recollection, I did play through all these metas. Release LeBlanc hotfixed hours in, which is unheard of.
Yeah, that was
back
really
in 20,
silly.
I want to say 12.
It was a long time ago.
From there, as we missed this actually.
We're trying to stop that. Oh, right. That's why he had to really struggle with that particular situation.
This was all pretty straightforward. We just let that play out. Yep. Next to there would be Release Sinjal, was very, very strong.
Yes.
There's famous hot shot clips, probably on YouTube still.
That was when I started playing. That was the patch I started on.
Did you see that hot shot clip where he just walks into the enemy jungle in 1v5s?
Yep.
He was really powerful too. And then I would say third was,
Zyra?
do you remember when Skarner was hotfix buffed on PBE right at the end on his last rework with Spires and a 59% win rate?
No, I don't remember that one.
That was, yeah, he was really strong there. So those are probably the 3 most busted. I guess it was because I sort of abused how strong they were, but Diana, Zyra, and Vladimir, outside of Xin Zhao being horrendously overtuned, would be my ones.
Diana was fantastic because she was like the best champion in 3 roles for a day. Jungle, top lane, and mid lane, and you can just basically not lose.
That was the first time I remembered Riot being like, this champion's going to be an AP jungle, instantly overpowered.
Yep,
and I was like, okay, of course.
Yep. How that one works. And so we've got wards being cleared, but we've got control for DAMWON all over the place. The outer turret falling in the mid lane, actually more important than you would otherwise first expect, because this is a team that wants to keep KT away from the Baron pit because their turn-off Baron is very, very strong, but their ability to get there is not so much as King, and a lot of damage on the Noggery there. As you can see, no armor apart from the Zhonya's in the build because you can't build something like a Ninja Tabi to stop that auto-attack damage. And Noggery's going to have to be a little bit careful. Showmaker's over here, though.
And Kingan's no chump in lane. He's a really talented mechanical laner. But next to Noggery, a lot of people can look mortal. Nice to see him taking the skirmish on well. These team fights are going to be so interesting because you're baited into thinking the Vladimir team's got free reign. Gotta also say that Sona does a lot of burst damage, and Aatrox and Camille can find their target as well, so...
Yeah, not to mention that Score, if he lands that Glacial Prison this time around, will be able to lock down a single target very effectively and create this area where KT can play with.
You put your faith in Vladimir eventually, but I'm not sure we're there yet. So I think KT still very much within a chance here.
Yep, Kingan going to be soloing out this Cloud Drake as Beryl's going to move on over. Canyon jumps into that pit, but it's already gone. Kingan does have the hook shot available. He's going to get over the wall with it as the Glacial Prison is stolen.
KT able to get out. It's a good call here. 4 Drakes, 3 of them Clouds, largely negating each other. DAMWON Gaming walk at Baron, another Kai'Sa Baron threat here.
Yeah, but KT do have a cute little ward around the side of this pit.
And they also have a pushing bot lane that we can talk about, so let's watch how the rotational plays go, because so far those are what has separated DAMWON and KT.
Yep, finally a tempo advantage for KT, but now DAMWON are trying to start a fight around it as the Glacial Prison is utilized. Gets a decent stump, but the Devourer is pretty good. Nuclear into the backline, though. The Killer Instinct is fantastic. Prey is going to get taken down, and now that consistent team fight is not going to be there for KT. Snowflower has to run for the hills. We're waiting for another Blade Surge. The Tongue Lash slow is ridiculous now that one's been buffed, and the Blade Surge not going to be enough to take down Snowflower as he makes his way out on his Abyssal Voyage.
But they're going to lose Baron for it. Yes, he gets away, hiding in the wolf camp. Strategy as old as time.
Oh, yeah.
Doing a bit of role play, but they're going to have to role play how to defend against a Baron. DAMWON Gaming running it, and they will claim it.
Yep, not a lot of wave clear on this KT squad, as they thought that they'd be able to get team fights to work in an extended fashion, but they're just not able to do so. DAMWON with a composition that does pretty well in that scenario. Also, Kingan gets something against the flow of play, but it's just not quite enough. As let's have a look at this one once again.
Sniped out in Canyon, and it was not clear instantly where this fight would go, but what you notice is KT's configuration, their approach to the fight. Kingan's so far out of it. His health bar is full because he didn't even get an entrance into the fight, and it just allowed DAMWON to kill closest target when it's 5v4. That works pretty well.
Yep. But there's a really cool hat now built for Noggery. I just feel like it's gone from bad to worse pretty damn quickly for KT. Very close to Showmaker building that Guardian Angel. That is nerfed on TFT, not so much. On to Summoner's Rift.
Prey not going to be winning any awards.
Well, Beryl's found BDD, and yeah, positioning is a big problem. Killer Instinct is going to kill the Aatrox as Prey's going to die as an afterthought. It's the Vladimir that grabs that one, and Canyon remains alive in the middle of that fight as well. The Zhonya's is going to do the work. There's now King, and he has to get out of there as Score is going to die as well. A triple kill for Noggery, and I have a feeling Mr. Hemomancer is online.
And that was 4v5. Showmaker wasn't even there. He was busy pushing the top side. This should be the game. Not sure if we'll end right now, but it certainly feels like it.
Yep.
DAMWON Gaming pushing up. They got so many members.
They do. We're very close to 30 minutes in, but we haven't even hit it just yet. The minion wave is going to get followed. Remember, 2 minutes left on that. Baron is Kingan, desperately trying to get some work done. Not going to be able to. First turret goes down. Canyon just playing with slivers of health this game. As the Nexus falls, DAMWON Gaming will be victorious. A 2-0 to answer their 0-4 week is going to feel fantastic for this young roster.
I deserve one.